Have you ever wondered what drives hunters deep into the forest, facing danger in the biting cold of winter? Is it the thrill of the hunt or the primal call of survival? No, it's something more. It's standing up for what's right, a responsibility to the village. Winter is when wild boars come to wreak havoc, shattering the peace of the quiet village. The cold may bite, the weather may be harsh, but nothing is more terrifying than their roar. Bang! I tighten my grip on the rifle and move out again. The battle begins. This hill has been blanketed in snow for over a week now. The trees stand bare, but the wild boars keep rampaging, attacking the village and its people. From a distance, I watch the scene unfold. Sure enough, the culprit appears. It spots me early and bolts at full speed, desperate to escape. But what can it do? Once it's in my sights, there's no way out. I chamber around and squeeze the trigger, smooth and decisive. Boom! The bullet strikes true, cutting the boar down. It slides along the snowy ground before collapsing. The first target of the day has fallen, and I claimed it with ease. The quiet stillness of the forest was suddenly broken. From my experience, I knew immediately wild boars were nearby. I held my breath, watching carefully. One wrong sound could send them running. There it was, a young boar, unaware of the danger lurking just ahead. I waited until it stepped onto the trail, then made my move. Bang! The shot was so precise. The boar simply dropped without a chance to struggle. I let out a quiet sigh of relief. We pushed deeper into the forest, a place of bare branches and silent trees, yet still a prime hiding spot for the boars. From afar, I heard heavy footsteps crunching through the snow. Wild boar. A shadow was charging fast. Without hesitation, I raised my rifle and locked the target in my sights. I wasn't about to let it get away. Bang! The bullet tore through the air and struck the boar. It screamed in pain, collapsed, sliding across the snow before lying still. What do you think? A perfect shot, right? Let us know. The snow was melting and the weather had eased, making conditions ideal for a hunt. A herd of wild boars moved quietly through the underbrush. They huddled close, stepping softly. Only the crunch of dry leaves beneath their feet betrayed their presence. Suddenly, bang, I squeezed the trigger. The sharp crack of the rifle shattered the silent air. An adult boar froze in its tracks. Panic erupted among the herd as they scattered into the bushes. The wounded boar struggled but soon collapsed. This was a sharp warning to the destroyers. For the peace of the village, we would show no mercy. Look at that, the dumb boar is running right onto the trail. A foolish move leading straight to its doom. Fine by me, I'll give it once. I took aim, tracked its path. No time to hesitate, no intention to prolong its fight. Bang, the bullet flew true, striking the boar dead on. One perfect shot, and it dropped right where it stood. From a distance, I spotted today's final target. On the hillside, a herd of wild boars began to move. They nudged each other quietly, stepping softly beneath thick foliage. They skillfully slipped through the bushes, silent and unseen. This terrain was tough, tangled with dry branches and leaves, making observation a real challenge. One wrong move, and the boars would scatter. I watched, anxiously, rifle raised and ready. Everything happened in silence. Then I squeezed the trigger. The quiet shattered. One boar went down instantly. The rest sensed danger and bolted into the cover of the trees. The battle is over. But no, this is not an ending, it's a new beginning. I looked down at the fallen boar at my feet, the one that shattered the village's peace. There's nothing proud about taking a life. But this is not cruelty, it's responsibility, standing up to protect those I love. I sigh. The fight is far from over. Our actions fully comply with U.S. law and are backed by insurance policies. This is no illegal violence. Thank you for following our journey. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss our next thrilling hunts. See you next time. I still vividly remember the feeling every time I set out on a new hunt. It's not just a journey to track down prey, but a battle of wits between the hunter and nature. In this land, wild boars are nothing short of the enemy of farmers. They destroy crops and trample fields overnight. That's why my team and I decided to head out in the midst of a snowstorm, armed with rifles, hunting dogs, and razor-sharp focus. How many beasts will we face today? And will I maintain my composure to bring them down like I have in the past? The journey officially begins. We moved up the mountain slope, our breaths billowing in the cold morning air. Before long, we spotted a group of wild boars digging in the distance. I decided to start the hunt with a shot. Bang! The entire group scattered in a panic, with one wounded boar stumbling behind. The long distance and thick trees forced me to move closer. The prey was struggling to escape. Bang! The second bullet whizzed through the air and struck its mark, ending all resistance. A promising start, but could this be a sign of a successful hunt? Stay tuned, and don't take your eyes off the screen to continue hunting with us. we decided to spread out, each taking a different path to track down the remaining wild boars. And there it was, right in front of me. Another one appeared within my sights. I raised my rifle, took a deep breath, and then decisively squeezed the trigger. The sharp crack of the shot echoed. And in that moment, the fate of the second boar was sealed. Taking down the second prey lifted my spirits, and I felt more energized than ever. The weather grew more brutal, with strong winds making it harder than ever to follow the trail. At that moment, we decided to call in the help of our hunting dogs. And indeed, just minutes later, my hounds were closing in, pushing the prey straight into the line of my rifle. The opportunity couldn't have been better. I slowed my breathing, aimed with precision. The shot rang out sharply. With just one clean shot, the prey fell. A perfect combination, wouldn't you agree? Meanwhile, on another mountain slope, in front of my teammate Jake, a boar was busy digging under the white snow. He gently raised his rifle, locking in on the vulnerable spot. His finger tightened on the trigger. The shot echoed through the still air. Nothing could escape. The boar froze, struggling to flee, but its legs gave way. That shot could only come from an experienced marksman like Jake, clean, precise, and decisive. The sun began to break through, and the air warmed slightly after the biting cold. This was the perfect moment for the wild boars to come out and bask in the sunlight. And sure enough, from our high vantage point, the entire team spotted a dark figure trudging through the snowy expanse. Waiting for the perfect moment, when the target was fully in sight, I tightened my grip on the trigger. Bang! With a single shot, the boar collapsed with no chance of escaping the line of my rifle. Exhausted, we decided to pack up and head back. However, on our way, a familiar figure suddenly appeared in the distance. Not wasting a moment, I quickly raised my rifle. Bang! The bullet struck the target from afar. As we approached to check, the prey was still struggling weakly, desperate to escape. To completely end any threat, another shot rang out. Everything was over. The hunt concluded with precision and efficiency in every shot. Each moment showcased the seamless teamwork and the sharpshooting skills of the seasoned hunters. More importantly, the entire journey took place within a legal, permitted area, fully complying with the regulations. If you found this adventure exciting, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to follow our future hunting trips. As the first light of dawn broke over the lush green fields of Alberobello, a soft golden glow blanketed the land, but the usual peaceful silence had been shattered. The night before, a pack of vicious wild boars rampaged through the village, tearing up crops and leaving behind devastation, worry, and helplessness among the farmers. We couldn't stand by and watch this destruction continue, so John and I, along with our loyal hunting dogs, set out. This hunt wasn't just a sport, it was a battle to defend the harvest, to protect the hopes of the hardworking people who live off this land. Join us on this journey, a hunt not just for wild boar, but for justice. We moved into the grasslands, where the tall, withered yellow grass blocked our line of sight, creating a quiet but tense atmosphere. Suddenly, a faint sound broke the silence. I was instantly on high alert. I raised my rifle, eyes locked forward. Just as I anticipated, a large wild boar burst out from the brush, charging straight toward me. I didn't flinch. With calm precision, I took aim and pulled the trigger. The shot rang out, and the bullet hit dead on. Without hesitation, I adjusted and fired a second round, making sure the target was fully neutralized. The beast collapsed motionless. No more running. A solid start, and a surge of determination spread through the whole team. The sun climbed high over the open plains as we rolled on in our roof buggy, eyes scanning every corner with cautious precision. Then suddenly movement. A jet-black wild boar, sluggish and unaware, was busy chomping on a mouthful of young rice it had just dragged from a nearby field. But the moment it caught the sound of our engine, it bolted. No hesitation, we gave chase. Our hunting dog surged forward, expertly herding the boar into a tight formation, driving it straight toward a trap zone we'd set up earlier. Keeping up the pace on rough terrain was a challenge, but years of hunting experience kicked in. I steadied my aim. One clean shot, the bullet flew, landing true. In a flash, the boar collapsed. No time to escape. Another threat eliminated. The fields are safe for now. Tactical, fast, and clean. Did that moment give you chills? Drop us a comment and let us know what you think. Around 3 in the afternoon, the sun began to fade, and light snow started drifting down across the plains. This is the typical weather of my homeland, sun and cold intertwined, a soft blanket of snow that does little to ease the harshness of the land. The wind picked up, sharp and biting. Then we saw them, a herd of fat, heavy wild boars lumbering ahead, scrambling to escape the moment they spotted us. But with seasoned instincts and tight coordination, we quickly isolated the straggler, the last one lagging behind. One clean shot, and it was over before it could even start. Protecting our people's crops is our duty. Every boar we take down is one less threat to these fields, one more step toward preserving this land. And so, we push on, carrying the weight of this responsibility, keeping watch over the land we call home. After clearing the grasslands, we headed north, where winter had blanketed the plains in white. The snow fell heavier by the minute, covering everything in a thick layer. Despite the worsening weather, we pushed on with the hunt. Our footprints pressed deep into the fresh snow, leaving clear tracks that were hard to hide from the wild game. The cold wind bit through our clothes, but we stayed resolute. Our hunting dogs pressed on tirelessly, skillfully leading the way. This hunt had become more than just a test of skill, it was a battle of endurance against nature itself. We spotted the wild boar intently digging beneath the snow. John and I signaled to spread out, each taking a corner. Using our radios to communicate, we moved into position, ready to strike. In just seconds, time seemed to stand still. We locked onto the target and waited for the perfect moment. With everything set, I shouldered my rifle and adjusted my aim one last time, while John held his ground. 2 precise shots rang out from both sides. The boar dropped before it could even react. The hunt ended swiftly, in complete silence. So, what do you think in thick snow like this? What matters most, skill or teamwork? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We tracked along the hillside, our footsteps sinking deep into the thick snow. Suddenly, a piercing howl cut through the storm, and a wild boar charged straight at us through the heavy snowfall. Unfazed, John and I opened fire immediately. The sharp crack of gunfire echoed in the silent air, the boar startled, confused, veering sharply into the brush. John quickly brought his scope up, eyes cold, and focused on the target. Boom! The bullet tore through the stillness, striking true. The boar dropped, unable to take another step. Target secured. Tonight, the villagers can sleep peacefully. This year's harvest is safe, thanks to us. As dusk settled in, we spotted a lone wild boar wandering aimlessly across the snow, completely unaware of our presence. With steady hands and years of experience, John took a careful shot, no wasted movement, no hesitation. The bullet sliced through the air, hitting the target dead on. The mission was complete. We were satisfied with the outcome. The villagers' crops would now face less threat, the destroyers would be gone. A meaningful day of hunting had come to an end. Today's hunt came to a close after hours of intense focus, as we continuously adapted to the rapidly changing weather. Heavy snow and biting cold winds tested us, but through seamless teamwork and precise decisions, we completed our mission. Each shot was not just a display of skill, but also a testament to patience and grit in this harsh environment. Beneath the gray skies of southern Italy, this hunting journey wasn't just about protecting the crops, it was about safeguarding the peaceful lives of the people of Alberobello. We're grateful to the local authorities and community for their unwavering support throughout our expedition. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next adventures. Few people truly understand what it feels like for us each time we step out onto the fields at the break of dawn. We're not here for thrills. We're here to protect the harvests of the local people. Seeing cornfields torn apart by wild hogs. It hurts. Every inch of this land is built on the sweat and hard work of farmers. That's why every time a shot rings out, we're not thinking about our personal passion. We're thinking about the peace and security of this entire region. Today, we face a serious challenge. Wild hogs weighing over 200 kilos, stubborn and dangerous. But no matter how tough it gets, we will face them head on, because behind us are the crops, the people, and their way of life. Join us now as the hunt begins. In the early morning hours, deep in the wild mountains of Turkey, the wild boar hunt officially began with the crack of the first gunshot echoing across the grass-taken fields. There it is, a massive, powerful boar charging head-on toward my position with full force. I quickly regained my aim, held my breath, and pulled the trigger. But no, the boar suddenly veered off in another direction. Still, it was too late. My second shot rang out sharp and decisive. The wild boar took the hit and crashed hard into the ground, falling with such weight that I could feel the impact from a distance. One clean takedown to kick off a long, challenging day ahead, fighting to protect the harvests from these destructive beasts. We pushed deeper into the area where the brush grew thick, the perfect hiding spot for these wild hogs. Suddenly, the heavy silhouette of a boar appeared through the cover. With a single pull of the trigger, the target was taken down cleanly and precisely. The hunting dogs were barking fiercely, closing in fast, while the boar now faced the consequences of the destruction it had caused to the local people. A clean, impressive takedown, don't you think? Let us know in the comments below. On this side, the prey unknowingly ran straight toward its fate before it even realized what was happening. My teammate John was already in position, locked onto a fast-approaching target. With lightning-fast reflexes, he took the shot, catching the wild hog off guard. Its momentum broke instantly, and after the second shot, the beast collapsed to the ground. And just like that, the hunt came to a successful end. The hunter had claimed control over the prey, and peace was restored to this land once again. As the sun dipped below the horizon and the day came to a close, night fell, but the hunt continued in the stillness of the darkened sky. Visibility became more challenging, but our hunters stayed sharp, using thermal scopes to clearly identify targets in the shadows. And then there was a massive wild boar, casually enjoying its evening meal, unaware that it had entered my danger zone. In a flash, the shot landed. The target was hit clean and brought down swiftly. A beautiful moment, fast, accurate, and absolutely flawless. The night hunt continued in another corner of the terrain. A herd of wild hogs swept past the lens, and then another clear target appeared, perfectly framed from a distance through the scope. Boom! A sharp, decisive shot rang out. It was so quick and clean that the hog didn't even have time to react before going down. That's the law of nature one follows, so that many others may thrive. What about you? Did you think that was a fast and precise takedown? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We're always listening. It was well past midnight, with dawn slowly approaching. The final gunshot echoed through the stillness of the night. A wild boar collapsed motionless on the field, gradually fading into the early morning mist. The wild hog's unconditional surrender marked the end of our mission. Every target had fallen, and silence returned to the land. The hunters let out a quiet sigh of relief after a long day of relentless pursuit. What they brought back was more than just the trophies, it was peaceful people and the protection of the harvest. As the first light of morning broke through, it marked the beginning of a tense and focused hunt where every shot needed to be precise and decisive. An entire day unfolded deep within the wilderness, pushing the team's focus, skill, and endurance to the limit. When night finally fell, the last shot rang out, declaring the mission complete. Today's success wasn't just about skill or luck. It came from the flawless coordination and teamwork that held strong from dawn until dusk. The crops are safe, the people can rest easy. Stay with us as we continue this journey. More thrilling and emotional challenges lie ahead, waiting to be conquered.